Welcome to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. Later in the show, Mikaela Crank will tell us about College Horizons, offering college and grad school admission workshops. And we'll chat with Albert Haskie, Diné software developer and founder of Nyzhon Studios. But right now, host Lanasha Pawadi talks with Levi Long, communications specialist for the Phoenix Indian Center.
I'm host Lanasha Pawadi. The Arizona American Indian Excellence in Leadership Awards honors leaders whose work impacts the American Indian community statewide and nationally. The award ceremony will take place on Thursday, November 30th. Here to tell us about it is Levi Long, communications specialist for the Phoenix Indian Center. Welcome to our show, Levi.
Hello. Thank you.
And before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and your background?
Yes. Hello. Absolutely. Again, thank you for having me on today's podcast. I'll introduce myself first with my clans and talk a little bit more about my background. Yat e Levi Long inishya mai dishkijni nishle do ziltaki ani bashashin. Hello, everyone. My name is Levi Long. I am Diné and a citizen of the Navajo Nation. I come from the Coyote Pass Jemez people clan, and I am born for the Towering House near the Mountain people. My grandfathers are the Bitterwater clan and the Black Streak Wood people clan. My family comes from the Navajo Nation, from the Loop and Greasewood Springs communities. I've been living in Phoenix now for about 14 years, but I've lived in different parts of the U.S., including Durango, Colorado, where I attended Fort Lewis College and graduated with a bachelor's degree from there. About 2 years ago, I finished up my graduate school program with Arizona State University and have a master's degree in digital audiences. And I've been with the Phoenix Indian Center for almost 2 years. I now work as the communications coordinator for our programs. And I love being a part of our thriving Indigenous community here in the Valley.
Oh, wow, that is so amazing. And it's a pleasure to have you today, Levi. And talking further about the Phoenix Indian Centers, can you tell us about it and its various programs?
Yeah, the Phoenix Indian Center was founded in 1947, and we are now in our 76th year of operation. We are the oldest continuing American Indian Center in the U.S. We were formed during a time when there was a large outgrowth of Native people who were moving here as a result of U.S. government public policy, specifically with the Indian Relocation Act. And as a result, several Indian centers were formed in relocation cities for people to connect and to socialize and to receive services. And that's what we offer. So we serve more than 9,500 people annually through our programs. So we offer free workshops and classes in 5 primary service areas. Those include workforce development, language and culture, youth development, prevention programming, and civic engagement programs. And then we also have culturally based community events that are held throughout the year.
Oh, wow, that is so amazing. And speaking about the community events, can you tell us a little bit of the events that are coming up?
Yeah, our next big one is going to be our second annual Gourd Dance and Social Powwow. That's happening on Saturday, October 14th at Steele Indian School Park. So we'll have an Indigenous vendor market and food trucks at that event. So it's free. We definitely welcome the community to come. It's going to happen right after the Native American Recognition Days parade in Midtown Phoenix. We also have the upcoming Silver and Turquoise Ball. So that'll be happening on Friday, October 20th at the Sheridan downtown Phoenix. So sponsorships and ticket information is available on our website for that event. And then we also have other events coming up, including our Winter Round Dance, our Two-Spirit LGBTQ plus Rainbow Gathering, plus all of the really awesome spring events coming in 2024.
Oh, wow. That sounds like it is a lot of exciting events coming up, especially for the community to all take part in. And another great award or ceremony event that you have coming up is the Arizona American Indian Excellence in Leadership Awards. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so the awards are set up to recognize Native American leaders and advocates who promote Indigenous people issues and rights. So these are people who are really making significant positive impacts within tribal communities statewide and nationally. We are coming on to our 41st year of continuing this awards tradition. It got started under the leadership of Phyllis J. Big Pond, who was an executive director of the Phoenix Indian Center. It actually got started as a potluck and was formerly known as the Native American Recognition Days Awards, and now has become a signature awards event here in the state. But she really spearheaded that first event as a way to recognize people in the community, those unsung heroes who are working hard to improve the lives of our Native people. And that's a tradition that continues today.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. And talking about the event categories, can you tell us more about the categories for the Leadership Awards?
Yeah, we have several categories for youth, adults, and businesses and organizations. They include the Kent C. Ware Lifetime Achievement Award, the Phyllis J. Big Pond Lifetime Achievement Award. We also have Man of the Year and Woman of the Year categories, Business of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, College Students of the Year, as well as High School Students of the Year. So nominees for those categories are typically, Native American or Indigenous. But we also have another category for Friend of the Community. This is given to people who are non-Native American, but have shown a long-standing commitment to the Native community through their leadership and their service.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. And talking about the nominations, how can you walk us through the nomination process? How can somebody nominate somebody if they are interested?
Yeah, so it's an open nominations process. We receive nominations from around the state. So they're not coming just from Maricopa County. We definitely want a diverse range coming from throughout Arizona. But the nominations form is on our website at phxindcenter.org. There are questions that people will answer about their nominee and why they deserve to be recognized. People can provide examples of their community work there. So just so you know, the deadline is going to be coming up here pretty quick. It's open until Friday, August 25th. So once the nominations come in, we're going to put together a selection committee that'll include past leadership award recipients who will review them and then select this year's awardees. And then we reach out to the winners, notify them. And then we also invite them to be a part of the NARD parade happening in October. So that's a chance for them to be recognized by the community. And then we have the formal award ceremony and dinner in November.
Oh, wow. And the nomination process, say you want to nominate somebody, will that person know that you nominated them?
Yes. So typically the nominee will get notified by the nominator, usually like with a phone call. On the form, it'll ask them if the nominee has been notified. If they haven't, then, obviously we might reach out if there's a question and that sort of thing. But yeah, they typically get notified. Oh,
wow. That's awesome. And talking about your past winners, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, it's actually really exciting. When I was doing some of the research, looking at some of the past award winners, they include a lot of people from a lot of different areas. We've had artists, educators, people in healthcare, journalists, people in fashion, a lot of students and community volunteers. But of course, we have our elected leaders from tribal nations and from state office holders. So those include Dr. Peterson Zah. We've had Hopi artists Dennis Numkina, Mary Kim Titla with Unity, Bernadine Burnett with Fort Yavapai Nation, Two-Spirit advocate Trudy Jackson, Rodney Lewis from Gila River Indian Community, Congressman Greg Stanton, who was nominated as a friend of the community, and then other organizations like Canyon Records and Native Art Market in Scottsdale.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. And do you anticipate this would be kind of like a successful event of a celebration?
Yes, most definitely it is a celebration. I think for our Native people, it's definitely a way for us to shine light on all of the good, positive work happening out there. And, really having those faces out in the community and having the opportunity for our youth, I think, to really see a lot of the amazing work that is happening is really, inspiring. So I think it's really important that we continue to have these award ceremonies, moving forward.
Oh, yeah, definitely inspiring and motivate. I'm pretty sure it motivates other individuals to want to be that person that impacts the American Indian community statewide or nationally as well. Levi, can you tell us again where and when this event is?
Yeah, so the deadline for nominations is Friday, August 25th, and then the award ceremony will be held on Thursday, November 30th at the Heard Museum. So that's where we will have the dinner and awards presentation. That's where families, friends, community members are invited to join us. And we'll have more information about tickets and how to purchase them in coming weeks on our website.
Oh, that's awesome. And then speaking of finding out more information, how can our listeners learn more about the Arizona American Indian Excellence in Leadership Awards, the Phoenix Indian Center, and also the amazing events that you mentioned earlier? And how can they contact you if they have further questions?
Yeah, so they can reach me at 602-264-6768. They can go to our website, again, www.phxindcenter.org. We have our online events calendar listed there. They can follow our social media through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And then they can also sign up for our newsletter on our website as well.
Fantastic. I would like to thank you, Levi, for taking time out to talk to us today to tell us more about the Arizona American Indian Excellence in Leadership Awards, giving us an update about the Phoenix Indian Center and also the amazing upcoming events you guys have.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll learn about College Horizons with Mikaela Crank. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health, WIC, and wellness services for the urban Native American community. For more information, call 602-279-5262 or visit our webpage at nativehealthphoenix.org. Native Talk Arizona returns after this song. You are listening to Taking Flight by Painted Raven.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm host Lanasha Puadi. College Horizons offers college and grad school admission workshops, helping over 3,300 Native students since 1998 on their path to higher education success. On the phone with me is Mikaela Crank, Director of the Scholars Program. Hello, Mikaela. It's an honor to have you on our show today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and your background?
Sure. I'm a citizen of the Navajo Nation, originally from Danahozo, Arizona. I have been the Scholars Program Director with College Horizons for the last 7 years. And I'm speaking to you today from our office in Bernalillo, New Mexico, which is the traditional homelands of the Santa Ana and Sandia Pueblo communities.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. And it's a pleasure to have you today. Can you tell us more about College Horizons and when and why was College Horizons started?
College Horizons is a national nonprofit organization based in New Mexico. We're a small but mighty team of 6 staff members. The mission of the organization is to encourage and facilitate the higher education of Native American, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian students by providing college access, college retention, and pre-graduate programs. We have 3 staple summer programs that target high school, college, and graduate school-bound students, which are College Horizons, the Scholars Program, and Graduate Horizons. College Horizons was founded in 1998 by Dr. Whitney Laughlin at the Native American Preparatory School in Rowe, New Mexico. So initially it served Native students in the Southwest region before it evolved into serving Native students nationally. College Horizons was founded to address the college attainment gap of Native American students. And this year we are celebrating our 25th anniversary, and we have helped at this point in time over 4,000 Native students earn college and graduate degrees. Students who have come to College Horizons have graduated college within 4 to 6 years at an 85% completion rate compared to 24% of Native students nationally. And of the 4,000 Native students that we have served, they have attended over 700 colleges and universities across the country, between 35 and 40% who've actually attended a school or graduated from a school that was one of our College Horizons partners. And 35% of those college graduates have moved on to obtain a graduate or professional degree.
Oh, wow. That is so amazing. And it sounds like there is a lot of great programs and resources out there. But going further into College Horizons, can you tell us more about the programs you mentioned, College Horizons, the Scholars, College Horizons, and Graduate Horizons?
College Horizons, which I believe we're more known for, that's our long-standing program. It's a pre-college summer program for high school sophomores and juniors. And students come to our program. We're hosted by a college site for 6 days. They work with college admission officers, college counselors, essay specialists, and other educators. And the workshops are focused on understanding the college admission application process and being ready to have like a rough draft to submit for the application deadline. And the Scholars Pathway Program is for our alums of College Horizons, and it's designed to empower them in their transition from high school to college. And Graduate Horizons is very similar to our College Horizons program. It's a mirror in the sense of the programming, but it's designed for students who are recent college graduates or interested in the graduate and professional admissions. So that theirs is about a 3-day workshop for current college students or recent graduates who are wanting to pursue graduate studies, whether it's a professional program, master's, or PhD.
Oh, wow. And are these programs all held in person or are some online?
Yes. Ideally, we have done everything in person with the exception of during the pandemic, which was those 3 years. We were virtual, and we just resumed in person this past summer.
Oh, wow, that is awesome. And when should families start thinking about college and preparing?
I feel like families should start having these conversations about their students' life after high school as early as possible. Ideally during middle school, but the early years of high school, like freshman and sophomore year, are still like plenty of time for students to have these conversations with their parents. If college is definitely something that the student is considering, the preparation steps will definitely involve engaging with the school's middle or high school counselor to take advantage of any programs that they offer, classes, if they offer college visits or trips that the students can take part in. But also an important conversation to have with the counselor is to start discussing academic planning. So academic rigor is really important for college admissions, and students should also assess where they're at in terms of being well-rounded in their extracurricular activities. So typically students who are involved in like sports, student clubs, volunteering, music, art, they have a part-time job, or if they're, spending a lot of time with their family or cultural responsibilities, those are all important activities that will really help them in the application. And this is something in addition to like the academics, their extracurriculars, the family could have an ongoing conversation about the student's progress, and then from there potentially talk about developing a list of colleges. And if the families could, ideally it would be great for them to make a college visit or talk to others who have attended that college just to get that insight. But I will say that if you do make a visit in person, colleges offer campus tours and information sessions. But if a student isn't able to make it in person, the websites of the colleges do a really great job at offering virtual tours.
And what factors should someone consider when thinking about college?
This is really important. I feel like there's a misconception sometimes about college because it's not a one-size-fits-all. And this might be one of the more important topics to discuss with students because colleges should definitely be viewed as an investment. Since the family is going to be paying for tuition, the student should actually like the school and choose the school for like their own personal reasons, not because of the name or because someone is influencing them to go there. So some key factors of considering a college should include the geographic location, the weather, student population size, whether the school's a public or private institution, the tuition cost, what type of financial aid is offered, degree programs that are offered, the extracurricular opportunities, whether or not they have a Native student population or Native student services that they can access.
And do you work with specific schools like undergraduate or graduate schools?
So with College Horizons, every year we have on average about 70 college partnerships. And through these partnerships, we provide professional development to those schools by engaging them and helping them learn about Native recruitment and Native student retention. And then in return, colleges send admission officers to our summer programs, our college sites, to work with the Native students one-on-one. So our college partnerships will range from small liberal arts to the large public universities across the country. And in the dynamics of the CH program, this really helps allow students to learn more about dozens of colleges they may have never heard of before coming to College Horizons, and being able to connect them with admission officers to learn about the institutions. We value these relationships and partnerships. And if anyone's interested on learning more about who we partner with, we have a full list on our website.
And when are the programs offered?
College Horizons offers 2 sites per summer. So 2 colleges will host us, and each program is open to about 100 Native students per site. In 2024, so we're already planning for next year, we will be hosted by the University of Pennsylvania, and the other school site is going to be shared once it has been determined and finalized, and Scholars and Graduate Horizons will resume in 2026.
And given the recent Supreme Court decision on affirmative action, how does this ruling impact Native students applying to college?
Now that colleges and universities are not able to explicitly ask questions about a student's race or ethnicity anymore, students may still choose to share this type of information through their story. And in the application, there's going to be opportunities for students to share a personal statement or a personal essay, and they are more than welcome to disclose about their families, their tribal nations, and their communities. Because of the unique status of sovereign nations in the U.S., it's really important for students and families to understand that their identification as American Indian or Alaskan Native is based on tribal citizenship and not race or ethnicity. Therefore, students can still self-identify in the application through their personal essay. And I just wanted to reiterate that students and families should not be discouraged about applying to college despite the SCOTUS decision.
And what kind of outreach do you do to get the word out?
For our outreach, we try to do fall recruitment through in-person school visits, social media campaigns, and online webinars to get the word out about College Horizons. The online application for us is released around October, November, and the application will be due around January, February, with students knowing if they've been admitted to College Horizons by that early spring.
And Mikaela, why is College Horizons meaningful to you?
College Horizons is meaningful to me professionally and personally. I am an alumna of College Horizons and Graduate Horizons. When I worked in admissions prior to coming to College Horizons in my position, I got a chance to actually host College Horizons to be at Stanford University in 2015. So now that I've come back to the organization, it's been a very full circle experience for me. And when I first attended College Horizons in 2002 at Dartmouth College, one of the people in my small group was Dr. Adrian Keene. So we, little did we know that our lives would cross paths many more times thereafter, but we're actually really good friends. But she has been someone that has come back to work for the Scholars Program to teach. So it's been a very personal connection for me to not only work for the organization, but also to, retain these connections and relationships that I've had because of College Horizons.
Oh, wow. That is pretty amazing to have gone through the programs and come back and also help other students utilize these amazing resources that College Horizon has to offer. But can you let us know how can our listeners learn more about College Horizons, and how can they contact you if they have further questions?
For reaching out and contacting the organization, I would defer everyone to the College Horizons website, www.collegehorizons.org, or to find us on social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. A list of our staff contact information will also be on the website if anyone wanted to directly reach out to one of the team members. But through the website and the social media accounts, information will be shared about any webinars or school visits or anything that we would be attending to share information about the upcoming application cycle.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Mikaela, for taking time out to talk to us today, to tell us more about your amazing programs and all of the resources that College Horizon has to offer.
Thank you.
Up next, Lanasha chats with Albert Haskie, Diné software developer and founder of Nyzhon Studios. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health's patient enrollment specialists can help you enroll, renew, or update your access information. This can be done in person, on the phone, or via Zoom, days, nights, or weekends. It's fast, easy, and can make a difference in keeping your health care coverage. For more information, call 602-285-9492. Native Talk Arizona returns after this song. You are listening to The Pueblo by the Jeer Project.
Homes of earth and not of blood. Let's walk the land, let's smell the mud. Let our worlds collide. Can't you hear that drum? It's like 9 a day back where I come from. Now come on, yeah. Come on, yeah. Come on. The land raised on love and not of blood. Let's raise our hands, give thanks above. Let our worlds collide. Can't you hear that drum? No skies are gray back where I come from. Come on, yeah.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm host Lanasha Puwadi. On the phone with me is Albert Haskie, Diné software developer and founder of Nyzhon Studios, where he is building a Navajo education program delivered through a smartphone app. Yate, Albert, it's an honor to have you on our show today.
Oh, Yate. Would you like me to introduce myself?
Yes, so before we get started, please tell us about yourself, your journey, and your background.
Agushin. Yate Shikado Shidine Shay Albert Haskie in a she. Look Ajikai Dan Asha, Ados Yaho Donne and Mishlenigi Aishin in a shle. Torki Glini Bushes Shin Koziflana Dashinche, Kinyani Dashinelle. Computer science by Inishta. I go to school for computer science and just trying to learn how to develop.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And about my journey, that's a little of a long story. Is there any particular way you want, any place you want me to begin?
No, just start off where you would like. We have plenty of time.
Okay. I guess it all started with my love for math, being introduced back in 2nd grade, I remember. So first, my mother enrolled me into a Navajo immersion program in Lokajigai, Arizona, and I was only there for kindergarten and 1st grade until they ended the program. And then they transferred me to Seotote Nepa Ota, which is located in Fort Defiance, which is about an hour journey. So I went to school there from 2nd grade to 5th grade every day. So yes, the journey was an hour, but in 2nd grade, I recall having a strong interest in math. And I remember having a great third grade teacher who saw my potential in math and just wanted to emphasize how important it is that I continue learning down this path. And I just remember being fascinated with multiplication and those cubes. I don't know if you remember those cubes back in grade school, like those little blocks. They can show you like one unit. Here's a 10 unit. Here's 100 by 100, and here's 1,000. I always remember playing around with that. I don't know why. They just looked so fun to play with. And I guess that was a good visual representation to understand how multiplication worked. And so that's where my love for math began and just continued from there. And my mother also enrolled me in a Navajo Math Circles program, which incorporated Navajo Diné culture teachings, also Diné Etche, into their math lessons at Diné College every summer. I attended those from seventh grade to my sophomore year. And I enjoyed every little bit of it because they showed me the connections Navajo has with mathematics, more specifically with discrete mathematics rather than numbers. If you don't know what discrete math is often described math without numbers. So a good example of this is Navajo weaving. Doesn't really require numbers, but patterns and problem solving and thinking ahead to visualize a pattern is a good way of is a good representation of discrete math.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. I never thought about weaving in that aspect. And talking more about your current stage in life of creating this amazing app, can you tell us about your new app that you created and what it does?
Yes. So the app I just finished developing for both iOS and Android is called Adolne. Adolne is a Navajo word for loosely translates to Navajo clan relations. And I named it that because at the core of it, Adolne is aimed to enhance Diné individuals' perceptions of how the Navajo clan system works. And it allows Diné individuals to experience that part of tradition in terms of experiencing the Navajo clan system.
And why did you create this Adon app, and why do you think it is important for like the Navajo culture, Navajo people to utilize this app?
Well, when and why did I start? It kind of began with the conception of this idea of interweaving technology and culture. This has been in the back of my mind since seventh grade because I've had a love for technology. I grew up with a little piece of iPod, and I remember using it and just like thinking, I wanted to make something on this one day. And who knew it would be my love for learning the Diné culture and language. And I just liked starting this journey on because it's unknown to everyone. There's no rule book or step-by-step process to achieve a certain result. I love learning about the intricacies of the Navajo language and culture. The more research I conducted, just how the language worked, it just really resembles discrete mathematics. And I don't know if you know, but coding also resembles discrete mathematics as well. And I just thought, well, if coding is a part of discrete mathematics and Navajo is a part of discrete mathematics, who's to say coding can't be a part of Navajo as well? And why Adolne? Why Navajo clans? I remember taking a class at Diné College in which we were learning about the Navajo clan system. And I had a eureka moment when my teacher explained it to me so vividly. And I was just thinking, wow, okay, I know how the clan system works. I want to go back to my school, my high school, and teach my peers how the clan system works because this is so cool on how it works. It was like such a mystery on how my mother and father would like say, oh yeah, that's your aunt. And I'm like, how? I don't understand. And then understanding it through the Navajo classroom, it just clicked.
And Albert, how and why did you get started working to create an innovative way to blend the Navajo language and the cultural teachings with technology?
I believe there's a need for it because most people aren't fortunate enough to have the resources readily available to them. I understand that um, there are probably listeners right now struggling to go back and learn about these cultural systems. But the resources outline online are very limited. There's online video teachings, but they're very restrictive in terms of what you kind of understand. You can't ask questions, you can't experience what's going on. Um, and I'm just wanting to try to find that middle ground between bridging technology for the 21st century of younger generation to, get them talking and inspired about learning about themselves, and that we are still here and we're trying to figure out innovative ways to keep us engaged and learn how to enhance and evolve our culture alongside it.
And Albert, can you kind of walk us through the Diné app to those that maybe are unfamiliar with it? Like, how does it work? I know you said it's really kind of educating everyone about their clanship and also kind of figuring out how they are related to another, or if they are. Can you walk us through like the process of putting in that information and how it is reciprocated?
Yes. So when you first download Diné, it's going to ask you to create a profile. Um, when you create a profile, it only lists Navajo clans at the moment. Although the list is still updating, we are trying our best to keep every type of clan reliable and accurate. And so if you don't have a Navajo clan, it's preferred to either leave it blank or put Diné clan not available for the time being until we can do some more research on it. And once you do put in your 4 clans, you are prompted back to the homepage in which you can now compare clans with other Diné individuals. So let's say you have a cousin across the wash and you want to figure out how you're related and which clans you're related by. Well, now since you entered in your clans, you created your profile, you will now ask that other user, what are your clans? You input their clans alongside their age and gender to more accurately pinpoint the results. Results are a big part of the clan relationships in Navajo. They help define how we address one another on a familial level. So in 2 seconds after inputting the results, you get the results of either being related or not related. In this case, if you are related, it will prompt you for 2 more buttons of the results. So my and the other results. My means what are the terms I use to address this other person of which I am related to. Vice versa for the other person. Because more often than not, they like to know how to address you as well. So I included both options to make sure no one is left out. And, if you're not related, it just says try another test because, you're not related.
Mm-hmm.
Another few features I've included that are crucial to the Diné app are a Navajo clan chart. A Navajo clan chart is readily available with both English and Navajo translations built into it. So reason why is some people only know their clans in English, like Water Edge, Tabahan. Some people only know Water Edge. I'm like, okay, well, let's use the built-in clan chart rather than looking online. Mind you, this app is also available to work offline, and no internet is required. All the code runs independently on your phone. Alongside in the settings, there is a CAT terms, which is a very short dictionary on the CAT terminologies we use with one another. And mind you, they're all very loosely translated. It is still very much encouraged to ask your elders because at the end of the day, this is a teaching tool, not a replacement.
And after going through all of that process and say you are related, does it also audioly kind of tell you how to introduce or how you are related in Navajo?
No, unfortunately not at the moment. We are experimenting with audio, trying to incorporate audio into the Diné Etche because we do still want to encourage the Diné users to learn about how to pronounce these certain familiar terms.
And I know you said that your app is still kind of going through or is going to be going through different updates, but in the future, do you plan on expanding your app to like other tribes as well?
That is a very difficult question. Unfortunately, I am not looking to expand to other tribes at this moment. And in my team, in my company, I don't have anyone outside the tribe, and I don't feel comfortable trying to quote unquote police other tribes how their system works. I'm only comfortable with mine and still learning how to do mine.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's completely understandable. I know you mentioned how your mom put you in a Navajo Immerse program. I believe you said in second grade. Is that kind of like how you got interested in the Navajo language, or did you kind of grow up with the Navajo language?
That's actually a funny story. No, it wasn't actually because it was kind of a part of mine. I kind of grew up in the Navajo language immersion programs from kindergarten to my fifth grade. It was only until sixth grade in which I transferred to a non-Diné immersion program, St. Michael's Indian School. I noticed something was missing, a Navajo language course. I always thought, ever since then, my view of the world, I thought everyone had Navajo language programs. I never knew it was a scarce resource, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of it. And it was only then I started wanting to incorporate how to bring back those traditions, those teachings into my school. I missed it so much. I didn't realize how crucial it was for my upbringing. And I really appreciate what Te Totenel, the Otata, was able to bring for me.
Wow, that is amazing. And that is very true. There isn't a lot of Navajo language programs, especially like in the urban areas. So it is really great that you created this app just so individuals can kind of learn their Navajo kinship and learn more about their clans and hopefully continue on that journey to learn more about their culture and language. But talking more about your app, Albert, how long did it take to create this app?
I will have to give two answers for this. So 5 months from beginning to end of development. That means I was developing the code, I was developing the algorithm, I was developing a website to go alongside it. That was all 5 months. But to develop an app after I finished my algorithm, that took 1 week.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. I did not know there was literally like all that work you had to put into an app, especially the back phase, as you mentioned, like the algorithm and everything. That's amazing. Do you have any current favorite success stories?
I don't know if I can call it success stories. I just always enjoyed Apple's first iPhone launch. I remember watching and just hearing Steve Jobs talk about three separate products. He was talking about a phone, an iPod, and an internet browser, and he was like going in depth on each of one of them and their history and their significance in our world. And then later in the presentation, he decides to unveil that he wasn't talking about three separate products Apple was launching. It was one product, all built into one. And I always enjoyed that because it was just inspiring in terms of like presentation, artistry. It just felt like a piece of art embedded in history. And I just always enjoy that type of innovation, trying to break boundaries, trying to show people the impossible is possible.
Albert, do you have any expansion plans?
Unfortunately, I cannot disclose any of my future projects, but I can say there is still continuous support for Diné. It is only related to Diné. Any future expansions on a in-depth dictionary will not be considered because Diné is just there for Navajo clans.
And finally, how can our listeners find more information about a Diné app, and how can they contact you, or where can they go to see all of your work?
So the best form of contact and reaching out and learning more is at my website, www.adolne.com. Although it is spelled a little less non-Navajo, so no apostrophes, no high tones, it's just Adolne, so Adoonee.
Perfect. I would like to thank you, Albert, for taking time out to talk to us today to tell us more about your amazing software, your work and everything, and also letting us know more about your new Diné app.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for listening to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and 90.7 FM KRDP. Our executive producer is Susan Levy. Sound engineer is Javier Quiroga, and our host is Lanasha Puadi. We hope you will tune in again next week. If you have any questions, please reach us at nativetalkaz@listen2krdp.com.